Hello, my name is Dr. John Mason. This is my second part of my interview for Masters of the Journey and how my spiritual development began. So I'm going to tell you a story about myself when I was in my early 20s. I believe I was around 23. I had started practicing on a regular basis this form of meditation that I had learned. For me, I was about 9 or 10 months into the practice, and I found that doing this at the end of my day, like in the afternoon, twilight, evening hour, was the best time for me to be doing this. It was a time where I just felt very comfortable. I was able to quiet my mind and be open to the meditation process. What happened for me one afternoon is I was sitting in my apartment by myself, and I had done the meditation. And during this meditation, there was a place where you could sort of open up and be open to an experience. The way that we did that was we imagined that we were looking at a blank movie screen or a blank TV screen, and anything that would flow through our mind would just happen. For me, it was a very special moment, more than 40 years ago, and I remember it just like it had happened today. I was sitting there, and I got this image of myself sitting with my back to a tree by a river. And right before me is this river, and it is moving from my right to my left, very slowly and evenly. And I'm sitting there, and it's very peaceful. Now, the river itself was actually the color of golden white light. And for some reason, I knew, with whatever that knowledge or wisdom is, that this was the river of life. And all living things were in this river, as if they were a molecule of golden white light. And they were flowing down this river, which would empty into a sea, a golden white sea. At some point, when it was time to reincarnate, I guess, the water molecules would evaporate, they'd go up, they would form clouds, they would go over the mountains, they would rain down, and again join small streams flowing into rivers and create that cycle of life. That is my experience. That is what I sort of knew from some sort of innate wisdom that was within me as I viewed the scene. Then it got very interesting for me, and this was the special moment. I mean, this was all special, and I feel blessed and guided to have had that. I feel very fortunate. But at one moment in time, I looked into the water, and I could see myself as if I was just one of those molecules of water flowing in the river of life. I knew instantaneously that this was my life, but more importantly, I felt that connection with all other molecules in the river of life, my connection with all other living things. I remembered the acceptance and the connection, and perhaps the unconditional wisdom and love that goes along with that connection. I remember that it brought a tear to my eye, a tear of joy, and this was just a brief instant. It was the first time in my life that I felt that feeling that I would describe as the feeling of grace, and it was a very powerful moment, knowing that I could feel that I could achieve that, and though I might not be able to be there 24 hours of every day, that I was allowed to see and feel what that experience was. I think that this experience in life, which I was blessed to have, changed my life and gave me more perspective on how life is all connected and how we can feel, no matter what is happening in our lives, that we are not alone. I've had other experiences, but that was one of the most significant times in my life. I hope that with the Masters of the Journey, as you join the community, as you participate in our tribe of support, that you can have experiences that give you insight and a feeling that helps you in your life to find your purpose and helps you to feel connected. Thank you very much for your time and your attention.